Okay, for the last ones, we have to graph each of these and then state the domain and range. We'll deal with the graphing first. Remember that you want to remember that the square root, okay, looks like this, and there's a little pattern you have to remember. From the anchor point, okay, and we'll write it right here. Okay, from the anchor point, you go right 1, up 1, and then you go right 4, up 2. You need to remember those. Okay? So here, the anchor point is getting shifted. Typically, it starts right here in the origin, but it's getting shifted left 1 unit and down 2 unit. So we'll go left 1 unit and down 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and label that point. That point right there is going to be -1, -2. Now, as I said, from the anchor point, you then go right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1. And you know what? I'm going to label that point 2. I know that there I am at 0, -1. And then also from the anchor point, you would then go right 4. So let me make some more marks here. So right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 2, 1, 2, and put another point. That is at the point 3, 0, and we're ready to make our graph, just like so. Now for domain and range, it's helpful to remember what we kept on calling vanilla square root. Okay, so I'm going to write it over here, but you have to remember that for y equals the square root of x, and that's what I call vanilla square root. It's just regular old boring square root of x. The domain is x greater than or equal to 0. The range is y greater than or equal to 0. And then based on where we're shifting this, the domain and the range get shifted as well. Remember, domain is your x value, so that's where we're shifting left to right. Range is your y values, so that's shifting up and down. So for this one, since we shifted to the left 1 unit, the domain also gets shifted to the left 1 unit. And so the domain for this function, the y equals the square root of x plus 1 minus 2, becomes x greater than or equal to, not 0 anymore, because again, we got shifted 1 unit to the left. X is greater than or equal to -1. Then for the range, that got shifted down 2 units because of the -2. Y then becomes greater than or equal to -2. So it's really, these are really, really, really important to remember for tomorrow. There are 4 questions where you have to tell me the domain and range of the square root or the cube root function. It's very, very, very important. All right, make sure you have these jotted down because I'm going to go ahead and erase them. Now, for the cubed root, which this is, y equals the cube root of x minus 3, what you need to remember is that for the pattern, and we'll write the pattern, where can I write it? We'll scroll down a little bit. For the cubed root, you go right 1, up 1. Notice that's the same as the square root, okay? But then you go right 8, up 2. You also have to go to the left. Left 1, down 1. It's exactly opposite what these are. So the next one would be left 8, down 2. So here you go. The anchor point typically starts at the origin, but because of this, we're getting shifted to the right. 1, 2, 3 units. And right there. And I'm going to go ahead and label that as 3, 0. Okay? Now, as I was saying, your pattern goes right 1, up 1. So right 1 unit, up 1 unit. And that's going to be right there. I know that point, and that point is going to be, since it's right 1, that's going to be 4, 1. Then we're going to go right 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend that a little bit. And then up 2. And so the point will be approximately right here. And so that is the point. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2. Don't forget now we also have to go to the left. Left 1, down 1. And then left 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down 1, 2. And so this point right here, sorry I didn't label this, this is 2 comma negative 1. And then this point would be 1, 2, 3, that's 0 right there. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, comma negative 2. Now be specific, or be careful when you're graphing. Make sure it's, oh man, make sure it's nice and neat. There we go, beautiful. Okay, and that's what their cube root function looks like. Don't be messy. Don't be going something like this. Okay, I saw that on a couple quizzes, and I'm not going to give you credit for that. That is not nice. Now the other thing is domain and range, and the nice thing about the cube root function, okay, domain and range never change. All real numbers. You never stop going to the left, you never stop going to the right. Same for the range. Okay? All real numbers. And that's it. You guys are going to do well tomorrow. I really hope you study. If you need to see more, you can always go back, watch any of the videos. Please, please, please study well and get a good night's sleep tonight. That's very important. See you tomorrow.